It's been 25 years since the end of Operation Desert Storm, and the NRO has evolved significantly since that time. We've evolved in several ways. One is the capability of our systems in space and the accuracy with which we can locate targets anywhere in the world, the sensitivity by which we can collect against targets, and really the rapidness in which we can get a product from space to ground to our customer.
During the heyday of the Cold War, which of course gave rise to the NRO, and when it stood up, I think in 1961, actually was when it began. And it was for strategic intelligence, and what it did was highly classified military people, tactical operators, once exposed to the capabilities of the NRO, were really quite innovative and ingenious in thinking up new ways to exploit the capabilities of the NRO. And Desert Storm was a pivotal event because this was the huge demand signal was for support to the tactical operational forces. But we also rather dramatically saw what the limitations were.
The National did not know how to communicate with the tactical. And at a press conference after the war was over, General Schwarzkopf was asked, what was the contribution of the national capability to Desert Storm? And his answer was what?
When the Marine Corps rolled into Kuwait, 4 hours before they were supposed to do that, the intelligence officer for the Marine Corps heading in basically got some imagery 4 hours prior to rolling in that basically said, here's what Kuwait looks like. And the particular G2 at the time took one look at it and said, first of all, this is a couple weeks old. It's not timely. It probably got put in an airplane and got flown over there to begin with. Secondly, it was highly classified, so we couldn't share it with a lot of people. And it just put them in a situation where the information really, at that point, was too late in the game to be relevant.
In my experience there during Desert Storm, I found that you could see the beginning of the NRO realizing it was not sufficient enough to collect strategic collections. They had to be able to provide this national data that just so overwhelmingly full with information, and to be able to devise ways to get it to the warfighter in a more timely fashion.
One of the big changes since Desert Storm has been the maturing of the NRO and the interoperability across systems. So if you go back to Desert Storm, we were still largely flying stovepipe systems, Program A, Program B, Program C, and then within those programs, individual satellite systems were pretty much downlinking to their ground station. Some data on the SIGINT side was pulled and sent out in larger broadcasts, but a lot of it, especially technical intelligence, was recorded on tapes, and it would take sometimes weeks for the tapes to get to the end user or the next user in the chain that was waiting to get their hands on these tapes. What happened was during Operation Desert Storm, the military got its first glimpse at what these systems could really bring to the fight in a major military conflict. Once they saw that, they said, man, we need more of this, we need it faster, we need it better, and we need as much as we can get.
There's been a huge effort to really bring the disparate products that we deliver to our customers and bring them together into a more synchronized product. And what that does for the customer is allows us to provide them a more holistic look at the specific intelligence challenges that they have, so that it's not looking at a problem from one discipline, it's looking at it from multiple angles. And I think that's where the NRO today is very unique in the community.
I think the NRO is an unsung hero of the intelligence community. The ability to move data quickly, to share it with the warfighter immediately, particularly in a life-threatening situation. These are things that people conceived of, thought of, great ideas. Now it's a routine practice. I don't think people appreciate the magnitude of what the NRO does in support of the warfighter and directly saving lives.
We needed to provide intelligence, tactical intelligence to the battlefield, to the warfighter and coalition forces, where potential improvised explosive devices might be. So through an effort that was funded through the TACDSR program through USDI, we were able to take and invest in a couple of solutions to look at how we might fuse all sorts of intelligence together to find potential locations of improvised explosive devices. Everything from reporting on the battlefield that says, hey, we saw someone out digging along the road in this particular area and that was suspicious, to information collected by NRO systems for our mission partners at NGA or NSA that allows us to try to piece together the picture.
Saving lives of warfighters is not a special event anymore. It is normal and routine. So as I look back on it, in my 50 plus years in intelligence, when I was first exposed to this in the early 60s, where automation and intelligence was acetate, grease pencil, and 2 corporals, and where we have come today, it is light years of difference.